We had a family meeting where we all discussed what was going on. We talked to the family doctor of that. We talked to a healthcare provider from the hospital, and they all suggested this. And we were in agreement for the most part. I guess I was probably the most hesitant one, knowing that I was giving up my spouse, so to speak. But we did what was in her best interest.
It got to the point where 3 months before he passed away, I couldn't care for him anymore. It was 24/7 care.
They told us that there was room here at Otterbein, in this facility. After she was well enough to, she couldn't go home. She had to, because she couldn't get up and down. And so they brought her over here for rehab. So that's how she ended up here.
It took you about 7 years to contemplate the idea, because I think you just wanted to make a good decision.
And your dad was very careful about anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He always thought about what was going to be okay or not okay for me. And that's how he made that decision.
Well, it was done for me by my sister and her husband, who've lived in Lebanon for a long time. They knew about Otterbein, of course. They've been active in Lebanon, United Methodist Church. And it was time for me to leave Maryland. No children, and my husband had died.
When we began looking, we wanted something that was close to home so that the family would be able to visit the facility. It was more like home. You know, the rooms opened up either into a living room area or into a dining room area. And so it's more like a home atmosphere out here, and that's one of the things that I really appreciate.
I was mostly concerned about somebody caring for him, holding his hand, giving him a hug, just feeding him, making sure he was looked after. That was my only criteria, was just love on him. And Otterbein did more than that.
Living in the Lebanon community, we definitely had a lot of connections and friends and that were at Otterbein, and looking for that caring community, that continuing care was definitely a priority.
They have met every expectation we ever had for them, exceeded them. I am so impressed with the loving, compassionate care that she gets out here. It's just evident in the actions and the words of all of the staff that I've interacted with. It seems to me like it's more of a ministry than it is a job. It's a calling for them.
I was just happy to have a place to move to a new home, and I like the idea of community, being with, among other people, obviously various interests, activities.
They talked to them as if they were a beautiful human being, you know? And that's what I love about Otterbein, the love that they show. Anybody that would love the Lord with all their heart and soul, that love just comes straight from the heavens, straight from God. So I believe a lot of people that work here and are involved in this church campus community are filled with the love of God.
We didn't know really anything about Otterbein until we started to experience every time the bus stopped and we hopped off and did this and did that. It was pretty cute because your dad was surprising himself that he liked it. He's always been like, take his time, a year or two from now, maybe we'll be looking at it, I don't know. But not here. Here, he just hopped right in.
Otterbein presents a wonderful community for us to come visit Ann, and we are able to do that and visit and have special meals at the Great Wave, even the Koi Cafe out by the pond, just walking around the community. again, meeting the staff and the other residents, it does provide that peace of mind, knowing that she's in this very special community, in addition to the church and that Otterbein church partnership with Otterbein community, again, brings that faith-based element, and we're very happy as a family for her to be here. One of the things that we love about Otterbein, and that's coming to visit Ann. And I can't walk more than 10 or 20 feet and down the hallway with Ann before she introduces me to another staff and gets big hugs, and just that warm greeting and that care that we see that the staff has for Ann is just something that's very special here.
Probably the way you feel safe, I feel safe just because everybody that's there on Mom's hallway knows her very well, and so we know they're looking out for her all the time. We love to take walks around, and I think I love that part about Otterbein is it's not just the employees, it's the whole campus, the residents. You just kind of become friendly and friends with a lot of people, and that always, I think people love a sense of community.
I know she's in a safe place. The reason she ended up in rehab was because she fell in her house, and she's in a safe place, and she feels like she's very cared for.
I appreciated the care down to the very smallest detail, and that is they sent us a sheet home. Simple things like, how often do you want his toenails clipped? What about his hair, and how did you want it styled? How close of a cut did he want? What are some things that Leaf is interested in? What kind of songs does he like to listen to? We could set up a play list for him and he could listen to. I mean, details, you know, the aides and the workers there wanted each person to feel very cared for down to their toenail.
I like being close, that I can walk, that I can walk from my room down the hall and downstairs to church.
I take my walks and things. I did play bingo badly once. Yeah, we put a puzzle together, and one morning, 3 of us put one of those 1,000-piece puzzles together.
Actually, this was the day he passed away. But all the workers knew that he loved to be outside. And they would make sure if anyone was available, to take him outside. If it was a beautiful day, even if he had to put a jacket on and it was sunny and pretty. And there were many venues at Otterbein to take him to be outside. And they took him outside in the sunshine. And he was just basking in the beautiful sunshine. And then they wheeled him into his room, and at that point is when he needed oxygen, and they laid him in his bed. And then that night he passed away. So that was just amazing. To the very end of his life, he received care of the things he loved, you know.